We back again! What's up, everyone? It's your boy, Andrew RFC. How y'all doing? So we did the first episode, I guess you could say, of sports/vlogging in my car. And I just want to say thank you if you tuned in, obviously. If you are new, I'm going to give the whole regular spiel of the subscribe button, the like button, all that stuff. It helps, obviously. What this series is exactly, if you haven't seen the first one, obviously I recommend you go watch it. But what this is exactly is it's me talking about sports / kind of just vlogging in my car when I'm driving home from work or when I am going to work. I was going to do this in the light on my way to work today, but I didn't end up doing that because it was raining like crazy. And I was too paranoid with the road. I messed that up yesterday too. I tried to say road, and I said roid. I don't know what's wrong with me. But yeah, that was basically it. It was just kind of crappy weather. So I was like, I'll just do it again when I drive home. So again, it is kind of in the dark. But what can you do, unfortunately? So in terms of sports, obviously, wow, what a day at the World Cup. Regarding the defending champions, the curse is real. Let's put it that way. Germany, you probably already know this by now, are out, which is absolutely absurd. It's crazy to think, because going into this group, you definitely thought they could take out Sweden, which, I mean, they ended up winning. You felt that they should have beat Korea, and we knew Mexico was going to be a test, but Germany didn't look that good. And the more I'm thinking about it and the more I keep looking at it, I keep kind of getting, I have an idea, at least in my head, of why things didn't really work out for the German national team. And I think a lot of that stems to Jogi Löw, their manager. And a lot of that comes from, so I was having this discussion the other day. So Jogi Löw has been a part of the German national team. I believe he took over as the head coach in 2006. So it's 12 years? And he's won, I guess now you could say, 2 international trophies. 1 World Cup and 1 Confederations Cup. Which, it's not bad. But, again, you look at it, 12 years, and I want to say he was an assistant when Klinsmann was there. And, with the team and the players that Germany have had over that span, to not have success in any Euro Cups and only really have your best run in the Worlds come 4 years ago, and now finishing bottom of your group with, a group that it was tough, but you should have been able to get through. I really think this stems right to Jogi Löw, and I think he should be held accountable and potentially let go. I think this is his final stand, in my opinion. I feel like it's best for the team. And let's start right away with the team selection. No Leroy Sané is absolutely just injustice. This guy was immense for Manchester City. He's a phenomenal player. If you have not watched Leroy Sané play, he's a very good player. And the fact that he wasn't on the team right away, I felt killed almost all the creativity that this team was going to have at the World Cup. Because when I was looking at who I would have thought was picked up for the national team, Leroy Sané was just the easiest pick, in my opinion. And when I saw, obviously, that he didn't get picked, I thought it was just a huge joke. I couldn't believe it. Sorry, I'm trying to fix the camera here. But yeah, right away, that kind of killed off any creativity I felt that the German national team was going to have. And again, made no sense to me, but of course I'm not paid the money like Jogi Löw, and I think he just signed an extension not long ago. But so let's go there. So the team selection, the Confederations Cup team that Germany had, I felt, quite a few fresh bodies. And a lot of people thought, and they even said this after the game today, maybe Germany is starting to move away from the old guard. One thing I will never understand with any team is why Thomas Müller plays at right mid. I'm not a big fan of Thomas Muller. I will fully admit that, but I have never understood why sometimes for Bayern, sometimes for the German national team, he plays right mid. Makes zero sense to me. He doesn't have the pace. He doesn't have the creativity to be there. I've always pictured Thomas Muller as a guy in the middle, either behind the striker, beside a striker, or the lone striker. One of the three. Nowhere else would I ever play Thomas Muller. And he didn't show up this tournament. And again, a lot of times you would see him out wide, and he is not meant to be there one bit. And you saw it when he was there for the national team this time. Mesut Ozil is always going to be blamed for things. It could be his fault. It can and can't be his fault. But I feel like Mesut Ozil is always going to get the blame for a lot of things. I don't know what it is. There's games where Ozil will turn up and he is great. And then there's other games where he looks like he cannot give a damn to be there. And it's hard to, because you never know which one you're going to get. Because when he's on, he's great. When he's off, he is just a waste of a player on the field. Marco Reus was held, like creative list. The team in general for Germany just felt like they didn't have any creativity. And I think that starts with leaving Sané at home. Like, everyone says, like, oh yeah, Germany's this well-oiled machine, which I said before the World Cup. I was scared about them again because on paper they have a great team. But they looked exactly like that. They looked like literal machines who had a game plan put into their head, and it was like, do exactly like this. And that's what it looked like. Like, the game with Mexico, they kept trying the same thing over and over. Of course, Ochoa stood on his head. Sweden, Boateng should have been sent off way earlier than he did. He was awful that game. They ended up getting the win. But then against Korea, it was almost the same thing. Like, Korea's goalie played well, but they weren't scoring goals. And again, I'll go back to the Confederations, where you look at, I think they had Lars Stindl playing there, who in this World Cup, you brought back Mario Gomez. I get you need experience because Klose's not there anymore. But Mario Gomez? Like, you don't have anyone else who could play striker. Like, you had Sandro Wagner, and here's where I'm going to say there's going to be an issue with the German national team all the time. And it goes back to Bayern Munich. Anytime a German player has success in that league, in the Bundesliga, Bayern snatch them and they start losing playing time. And in my opinion, that really much hurts German football. Because look at the likes of Sandro Wagner again. Again, he's not like a great striker, but he's a guy who was doing well at his club and Bayern snatch him. He's barely playing because Lewandowski is there. And Muller, when Muller decides to play in the middle. Sebastian Rudy, another one who, great season, Bayern snatch him, onto the bench he goes. He plays here and there. I get it, he's there for depth, but ruined. I don't get it, and I really feel like that hurts German football. I feel like German players should try to leave or play on other teams. Not everyone has to go to Bayern Munich and be buddy-buddy. Like, look at Toni Kroos. He left. He went to Real, and he's been one of the best midfielders in the world since. Tony, again, this tournament had his games where he did not look like the best. But when I'm pointing fingers at this German national team, obviously, finger one goes right to Jogi Löw. After that, I'm looking at Sami Khedira was awful for Germany. Almost every game, I felt Khedira was just garbage. Draxler is a weird thing because I feel like Draxler has this potential to be this great player, and I feel like he's never hit that stride to be that player. And I don't know if that's the teams he's played for or what exactly it is that's held Draxler back. But you can't sit there, look at your team, and look at Julian Draxler, Julian Brandt, and go, yeah, they offer more than... They're going to offer me more than what Leroy Sané is going to offer. Come on. Like, anyone knows that. And I get it, there's tactics and there's systems, but this was a tournament that you saw Bayern really needed their other guys there, man. Like, they really needed a guy like Sané. And I will keep saying that because it baffles me, because he would be on any other team's World Cup squad without question. And he should have been on Germany's, which kills me even more, is that he wasn't. I don't get it. Like, it makes zero sense. The other games, Sweden looked awesome. They slapped Mexico 3-0. And Sweden looked great. They looked really good. They came into this game hungry and knowing they had to win, and they did exactly that. Kudos to them. Mexico still goes through, which I'm happy about. They end up finishing second. Sweden gets first, I believe. Yeah, because Mexico's going to be playing Brazil next round, which is going to be, I think, a really good game. But now Sweden has this newfound confidence where they look on fire. And then you have Mexico now who, they can't rest on this too long. They got to kind of pick it up, look at what went well in the first two games, and bring that to Brazil. Forget the game against Sweden, act like it did not happen at all. So, I want to go back to, I was just remembering this with the Germany game. Manuel Neuer. I have never been a fan of Neuer. Now, I don't hate German football. I know it sounds like a lot of slander, but this is stuff that's been on my mind regarding Bundesliga, regarding Bayern Munich, regarding Jogi Löw. And I feel like it all finally showed at once. And it was all today. And it's been stuff that I have had strong thoughts about for a very long time. Manuel Neuer, to me, it's weird. Because he did not play almost the whole year. Because he had that injury. And you had Marc-Andre ter Stegen, who played very well for Barcelona. And did not start a single game at this World Cup. Now, I get it. You can't really look at Neuer and blame him fully for the World Cup. But what the hell was he doing on the second Korea goal? I get it. Neuer has this reputation, and I always laugh when Bayern Munich or Germany or anyone tweets like, oh, it's a Germany game when Manuel Neuer's standing at half. This dude has been burned a lot of times in his career for doing that dumb stuff. I think there was a play when he was at Schalke, if that's where he was before Bayern, where he was standing on the edge of his box trying to be confident, and a dude just chipped him. Guys know this. And then against Korea, I get you need the goals, but he was further up the field than his midfielders. Like, if he was with his defense to, just kind of kick the ball back in if they lost it or something, but he's up there doing just the dumbest, like, trying to dribble by a guy. I get it, your World Cup's over at this point, but dude, that's embarrassing. Like, he ends up losing the ball, and Korea goes the other way. Heung-min Son puts it in on an empty net, which I was happy because I love Sonny. Such a good player, and, I feel like he's such a good guy. But, like, watching that play, I was laughing because I was going, Neuer deserves that. Because it's all fun and games when Germany's winning and they're like, oh man, Neuer, look at him standing outside the box. He's so good. And you really saw what happened. When his team is under pressure, he's not that good with the ball. He really isn't. I want to go back. One of the games I think was 2008 Euro Cup. Was Portugal against Germany. And I know I go back to Portugal. And our striker at the time was Helder Postiga, who was just an awful player. And I believe Neuer was the goalie already for Germany at this point. And Germany was doing their back pass thing where they put it back and Neuer gets the ball and then he hangs on. And Postiga actually ran at him and slide tackled him. And I remember they called it a foul. I believe this was all 2008 Euros. And they called it a foul on Postiga. And it was mainly because he touched the goal. But you watch the replay, he got the ball. And Portugal was going to score because Neuer brought it out of his net. And I remember on that day was when I already was looking at Neuer and I go, you got to just put pressure on this guy. You can't let him try to control. And, and I still, it baffles me because I've played keeper a lot growing up. When he was trying to dribble by those guys and playing ahead of his own midfield, you're crazy, dude. Like, this is the World Cup. Come on. Grow up. It's not about you. You didn't even play all year. Marc-Andre Ter Stegen should have been the starter, not you. I don't care about what you've won and what you've done. I know you are going to be a legendary goalie at the end of the day, but this was Ter Stegen's team to be playing. I don't know. I don't get it. We got a lot of good games coming for the knockout round. Like I said, Mexico and Brazil is going to be huge. I'm looking probably the most forward to that one. And honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if Mexico wins that one. In all honesty, the way they played it, if they could play the way they did against Germany and bring that to Brazil, I think if Mexico could bring that counterattack against Brazil, they could easily beat them. Neymar was invisible today. Coutinho has been playing out of his absolute mind, and he is showing just that class and why he is such a good player. I've always said it. I think he is a good player, Philippe Coutinho. Yeah, you're welcome. Wow. Side note, when I mentioned road rage yesterday, or whenever this video goes up, people, when you let them go, and here's advice to you as a driver, when you let someone go, say thank you. This dude was sitting at the stop sign with the dumbest look on his face, and I said, go ahead, and he just kept staring at me, no thanks. Okay, thanks, buddy. Anyway, I told you, you're going to get that sometimes. Where was I going with this? Brazil, yeah. Counterattack Mexico, yeah. I was looking at it too. So Belgium and England now play. Final game of the group. And it's actually better in terms of, if you want to say, an easier bracket to the final for whoever loses this game. And it sounds so bizarre, but it's because Argentina finished second in their group. Portugal finished second. Russia finished second. Like, it's all scattered. It's a really weird tournament, which, I mean, it's made this World Cup awesome because it's been so unpredictable. Nobody, like, I would say probably 98% of people who actually made predictions did not have Germany going out, let alone finishing last in their group, is bonkers. Like, you know, other than that, the World Cup today, like everything else, I think went as you expected. Like, Serbia lost to Brazil, Switzerland, Costa Rica tying. Switzerland's a weird thing where they are on and off. They're almost like a full team of Mesut Ozil, where you don't know what you're gonna get. You're gonna get either some very good football or you're gonna get very awful football. And playing them twice in qualifiers, experience that firsthand. But, yeah, the games tomorrow are big. We're going to see who goes through between Colombia, Japan, and Senegal. It's going to be interesting because Poland's already gone, which I don't believe. I'll talk briefly about Poland. They do not look like anything that they were 2 years ago at the Euro. Lewandowski has disappeared at the major tournaments. I think at the Euro he had one goal, which came against us. The World Cup he's done nothing. And I get it. And people are like, oh, but the support around him is so bad. The dude scored like 15 goals in qualifying. He had, I think, the most. I think he had more than Cristiano. You can't say, oh, the support, though, is so bad. I get in qualifiers you play weaker teams, but he's playing with almost the exact same group that he has been for the last 2 years. You know, teams are just shutting him down, and he can't find a way to break it. I get it. He's a striker, but he's a finisher, and it's not happening. And I'm not pitting Poland's awful play against Lewandowski. God, no. I'm just saying that, you know, he hasn't been able to get anything going. What about Glick? Let's go touch on Glick. This dude attempted a bicycle kick in practice and injured his shoulder. Are you kidding me? Before the World Cup, you're going to try something stupid like that? You should be absolutely ashamed. Your coach should have sent you home the second you did that. What a joke. Honestly. And the best part is he did this bicycle kick trying to play like volleyball. It was like a football volleyball kind of thing. Yeah, if you didn't know that, that's why Glick has not been playing, and he's not been playing well when he has played. It's because he's battling an injured shoulder. Who do I think is going to get through from there? I don't know. It's really tough because Colombia's playing Senegal. Like, there's so much to play for both for the three, and Poland might go try hard just so that they could spoil it. Those are the games you got to watch. Somehow put those games on 2 screens because I think they're going to be crazy. I think it's going to come down to last minute to see who qualifies. That's how good those games are going to be tomorrow. Because Korea and Senegal are both on 4 and Colombia's on 3 points. So we'll see. It's definitely going to be entertaining. Quickly, I guess that's really it for the World Cup until the actual knockout games start. The knockout games themselves, okay, I'll give my quick predictions for the games that we have so far. So we got Spain-Russia. I think Spain will take them. 2 or 3-1 at least for Spain. That's my my bet right now. Portugal-Uruguay. I really look at this game similar to maybe Portugal-Croatia at the Euros. And of course, I'm going to be biased. And watching Portugal win 1 trophy, when you watch your nation or your club win a trophy, you feel like anything is possible. And this is exactly how the Euro shaped up for Portugal. They played okay in the groups, but when they got to the knockout stage, they turned into a tournament team, which was like they would just claw and scratch and do anything to win. Can they beat Uruguay? Yes. Is it going to be a challenge? Absolutely. If Suarez and Cavani are firing, they might actually just destroy our defense. Pepe's been really picking it up. Jose Fonts played okay. I want to say 2-1 after extra time for Portugal. Is my feeling. We're going to have to crack that defense, and that defense has been awesome for Uruguay. Mexico and Brazil, I've already said, I don't see Brazil losing so early. I feel like Mexico can do it, but I want to say like 1-0 Brazil. And I think it's going to be close. And I think Alisson Becker is going to have the best game of his life. I think he's going to have to make big saves against Mexico. Ochoa is going to play great. It's going to be a very close and just to the end of the game fight for both teams. But I'm going to go with Brazil like 1-0 in this one. Who else we got? Switzerland is playing Sweden. The way Sweden's playing right now, I'm taking Sweden 2-0. 2-0 Sweden is my guess right now. The way they're playing, like Granqvist, their left back, I can't remember his name. It's like Semen Yilsen. I can't remember it. I probably butchered it. He's been playing great. I'm taking Sweden without a shadow of a doubt in that one. At least 2-0 if they're rolling. Here's a cool thing and funny thing with Sweden. So Ibrahimovic was sitting at home basically saying like, they needed me. They needed me. They've been playing great because they're playing like a team, and I love it. Sweden fully deserves to be where they are right now. I can't really think of the other knockout games right now. I know, because obviously we don't know who England and Belgium are going to play, and we don't know who's going to get out of the other group. Who am I missing here? Did I nail them all? A, B, C. I think I did. I want to say I did. But yeah, okay. For the ones that I can remember off the top of my head, that's who I've got. Brazil, Portugal, Spain. That's who I have winning their games so far. But yeah, this basically turned into a rant about the German national team. I realize that. And if you are German, I'm sorry. You guys won a World Cup and a Confederations Cup in back-to-back years, which is not an easy task at all. But it's time to move on now, and I think you guys need facelift. You guys need something to change for you guys, because this is unacceptable. 1 win, 2 losses, finishing last in your group. Again, it was a tough group, but it was winnable. It was very winnable for the defending champions and the players that you have. I think coaching is going to be changed. Who's going to be the head coach? Who knows? Maybe Heikens is going to take the job as the national coach. I know he's retired and come out and all this stuff, but maybe this is his calling. Go to the national team. We'll definitely see. And of course, as anything does happen, I will be sure to cover it right here in my car, because this is where I like to talk sports before or after work, is in my vehicle, my car. All right, that's it. I'm home. Thank you, as always, for joining me on this beautiful ride and this rant about German soccer. If you are new, make sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed it as well. And comment down below. Ask me questions or anything that you may want to know about me or my opinion on stuff. I would love to answer them as well. Thank you, as always, for joining. Bye, guys. You will be seeing me very soon again.